So, thank you, Alanté, for coming on my Healed and Free podcast. As you know, I like to talk about being healed and free because I believe you can be both. You can be completely healed from your past and live free from the effects of what you've been through. And so I know that you're into fitness. I know that you have your degree in exercise science, correct? And so I
Hmm.
definitely want to talk to you about the intersection between fitness and mental health. But first, I want to ask you, why did you get into this field?
To be honest, it was from personal experience with the injury that kind of, I want to say, influenced how I seen the career path. I had to go see a physical therapist, and I thought the job was really cool. And the loss of my grandfather, about 15, he died from like complications of diabetes, and then with that experience, and then meeting the physical therapist that pushed me towards that degree choice of exercise science, and I learned that a lot of the conditions we dealt with in the community, the Black community in general, such as diabetes, that they're preventable. They were a lot of times self-treatable with dietary changes and exercise and things like that. So that kind of really pushed me towards the career choice and kind of helping people out with that. That just a lot of knowledge is in common to most people.
And so I'm sure you have met many different types of people in your career path. Like, what is the common denominator that you see with people when they're starting their fitness goal? And if there's any struggles with them changing their dietary habits?
The biggest struggle people have is, I want to say, the first one is consistency, and the second one is discipline. Uh, I hate to say it, but people love to make excuses. So, they will come up with any and every excuse that this is some kind of barrier or deterrent into, achieving their goals. But there's literally always a solution. Now, it may not be a solution you like, but there's always an answer. And it always comes down to what people are willing to do to meet that goal that they set out for themselves. And not everyone is usually as determined, but or sometimes they just need the extra push or some accountability. So that's kind of where a trainer or a friend will come in, and it's like, I'm on you. Like, you come in Saturday, you come in Tuesday, you come in Thursday. Like, I need to see you. We need to, keep going. Like, you kind of almost have to be the driving force behind them getting where they want to be instead of it being the other way around. Like, they be the driving force, and you're just kind of there to assist. You end up taking kind of a full on role a lot of times.
And so how like what do you see that in, like, what age group? Is it the older, is the younger, or just across the board there's a lack of consistency and discipline within people
I
meeting
would
their goals?
say definitely across the board, the most motivated people I've seen have been young and former athletes.
Mm.
And there are some outliers, of course, in every age group where, a person is 50 and they ready to go, like the batteries in their back 24/7. And those that's beautiful to see, honestly, but it's very rare. Most cases, former athletes, because they kind of still living in their glory or want to kind of maintain or get back to that kind of status or a level of fitness where they once were. So athletes for sure are some of the best clients. Like, oh yeah, I used to do this, and they kind of take on the challenge. They have that mental aspect of overcoming challenges, and then they're all for something being hard. Oh, I'm gonna get it next time, or give me a couple weeks, I'm gonna get it. And everyone doesn't have that mindset, but it goes a long way with um, I want to say overachieving or just getting to a level of consistency in the gym, because you always have something to push towards, like a goal to reach, or something that keeps bringing you back. Like, okay, I can do this now. Oh my God, I want to do that, and then you just keep coming to achieve that one goal.
So I know that earlier you just said that your motivating factor was the passing of your grandfather.
Yeah.
What caused you to change your life as far as, the career path that you was going into, and, changing how you eat and things of that nature.
Hmm.
And for me, a vulnerable moment as well. I lost my grandfather in 2015, a year
Hmm.
before I graduated college, which was crazy because I wanted him to see me walk across that stage. And so that was also a turning point for me mentally and emotionally. Um, because sometimes you don't always get what you want out of life. um,
Absolutely.
and to be faced with that reality is like a brick wall. It's like, dang. is real. Sometimes what you think you're going to be able to do or be able to show your loved ones, you may not actually give that, get that chance. Um, and so though I didn't start a fitness journey, maybe I should have, but I definitely started a self check. Um, and so for you, do you self check? Do you go through periods of your day or every week where you're just checking up on you? Like, I know that you said sometimes as a physical trainer, you're always checking up on your clients, like, hey, I need to see you, blah, blah, blah. But do you say that to yourself? Like, hey, Alanté, I need to see you show up. I need to see you be present.
Uh, I hate the cliche of it, but I want to say I'm very much a thinker. So I'm in my head all day. I talk to myself all day. And if something's hard, something's difficult, I'm having a bad day, I'm having a good day, me and myself have thought about it, talked about it literally all day, every day. At the end of the day, I'm a decompress and I'm a reflect, or at the end of the week, I'm a reflect whether, anything that happened throughout the week that I want to get further thought. Because sometimes I don't have time to process in the moment. But at some point during the next day, 2 days, the week, I'm going to sit and think about it. I'm going to reflect over different scenarios. I'm going to run the scenario probably 3, 4 times in my head, um, and come to terms with either how I feel, how I think I should feel, how I should respond, how I did respond, and like maybe if that was right or wrong, all the implications of it. Um, I'm thinking about my goals constantly, what I want to do, like people I want to see as far as family and friends. I don't get to see everyone, and trying to make sure I set out time, or I make sure that I'm kind of in this space where I know, okay, this is where I'm going in life, and this is how I can incorporate these things that I want into that life. Like this is where it goes. So I'm constantly thinking about what's coming or
I do the
where
same
I've
thing.
been.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
literally be in my head all day. And
all the
I
time.
have to, I'm learning recently not to overthink
Hmm.
because that's my problem. I can overthink a situation, I can overanalyze a situation. And I think that's why I got into the field before I got into the whole wellness field. I got into the field of data analytics because
Hmm.
analyzing is something that comes easy. Looking at the data, looking at the information, going over it over, again, it's something that I'm so used to doing that it was so simple. But
You were
I
good at
can
math growing up.
overthink a situation and get myself in trouble.
Hmm.
And so for you to say that, it's so weird because the fact that I do the same thing, I be talking to myself like, Brianna, what are you doing? Or maybe you should have said it this way, or maybe you shouldn't have done that. Maybe you shouldn't have gone there. Da, da, da. Or why did you say it like that? Or why, when that was said, why did you feel this way? And I'm just constantly going over. It's nothing wrong to me to self check, but it comes a point when you're obsessive.
Of course. Yeah.
And I
It's a
know
balance
I
to
can
everything.
get obsessive at times to the point that I'm not present.
Mm.
And that's something else that I'm working on. I can be, because I am, and I say this all the time, I'm an unashamed introvert. I stay to myself and I be to myself. And that doesn't mean I don't mind being around people. It's only certain kinds of people that actually stimulate me that I like to be around. But sometimes
Hmm.
when I'm even in family functions, I'm watching everything. And when I'm watching it, I'm receiving that information, I'm analyzing it, and I'm not being present in the moment. And I'm like, no, Brownie, you can be aware of your surroundings and still be present. I haven't mastered it yet, but I definitely want to get to that point.
I can definitely relate. I will sit in a room and look at everyone in the room, and oh, you all right? You good? Man, I'm chilling and I'm just watching everything. And I assess, like, you'll read a person without, actually talking to them, but listen to them talk to other people in the room, and you be like, I don't think I like him. Go over here. Okay, yeah, these people are cool. They cool. She's funny. And you know where you want to go in the room now. Like, I'm gonna stay away from that person over there. And like I do that same thing. And I don't care what room that is. It'll be family. I just check the room and see where everyone is, what the temperature is, what people talking about, what's going on. I just read the room and I kind of navigate based on that. But I can't help but do the same thing. I'm always analyzing something. And I was always good in math growing up, and if I would have known there was data analytics or something of that nature, I probably would have went that way, but I didn't. Like I feel like I was good at so much stuff that I could have picked anything, and I was kind of just only just going with the flow of what I was exposed to. I was like, maybe I'm supposed to do this because I like this, I could do that. But if I was exposed to more and I actually would have picked, yeah, no, it would have been a different story. I probably wouldn't do what I do now or know what I know now, but I feel like it'll all work itself out regardless. I'll be fine because I'm glad I know what I know, and the degree I picked helped me get through college because I found it so interesting. I don't think I would necessarily always find the classes of other majors interesting. Like by the time you get to college, I feel like you're over school because you went to school for too long, way too long. Like if you wasn't like a person that struggled to grasp like school early on and like you got it and you was ready to go to the next thing, but you kind of had to go with the flow of the class. So it's like class slowed you down. If it was truth be told, I should have been bumped ahead like 3, 4 years, and I would have been in college at like 17. We could have got this over with. We could have got it over with.
I feel the same way. That's crazy because
Mm.
school was whatever. I can
It's
make
not
the
hard.
grades. I can
It's just
pass the
annoying.
test. It that wasn't the issue. It was I don't know. I'm sure you did this in school too because I don't think they do it now. But I remember second and third grade. I think that's when it started. Second, third, probably fourth and fifth. When you had the math test, the addition. You remember that little that sheet, and it had the 1+1 and then the 1 times 1. All that you go from
Mm.
your addition to your subtraction to your multiplication to your division. I was
Mm.
always the first one done. I don't care what it was. When I'm done, I'm just sitting there, and I felt that about school as well. Like this is simple. Let me get this over with. So by the time I got to my freshman year of college was cool because this is new. But after that, I was over it. I was like, yeah.
See, I didn't even get the freshman experience. I went to community college because I still had to figure things out. And while I was at community college, I was at PG community college. I didn't really have freshman experience. I had friends at local schools. I'd go visit, and that's what I did to you. Like you said, you was at Bowie State. I was like, oh, I'm coming to see you then. And I'm at Bowie. I was at Bowie at times you didn't even know I was there. I just run into you. Oh, hey, Brianna, what's up? And I'm over here talking to friends. So I was everywhere that freshman year of ours. But by the time I actually got to my university, I was over it because I was 20. It was like it's whatever. I'm just here to finish.
Yeah, it'd be like that. And so what do you think is the intersection, whether for you personally or for others, of fitness and mental well being? Like I've read articles about,
Hmm.
part of your wellness journey, of your mental wellness journey is being active in some type of way.
Hmm.
And so I just want to hear your point of view of it.
So even in my formal education, it's touched on how exercise kind of releases chemicals. I don't remember like an exact list because, of course, they gave us a list of chemicals that are released through exercise, whether it's running or cardio exercise, not just running, cardiovascular exercise or strength endurance, something like that. There are endorphins, other chemicals and stuff that release in the brain, so it kind of relieves stress. Um, and there's chemicals that actually have effects on like your muscles, your blood vessels, things of that nature. I'm trying to draw back from like knowledge. I'm looking off in the sky trying to read a book in my mind, but uh, those are like just random tidbit facts. I can't go off the top of my head with like actual chemicals or the what's the word for it? Yeah, I can't even think of the word, but yeah, those chemicals that are released in the blood, that brain chemistry. Exercise kind of actually alters that. So you can go in the gym and be in a bad mood, but you play your music, you focus in, you lock in, you relieve a lot of stress, tension. You can actually come out in a better mood, ready to smile, ready to go. Um, and it's funny in ways where like I'm not a morning person and I hate getting up to work out. That's like the greatest way to start your day. And I'm definitely not saying I'm a morning person. Everyone needs to get up and work out in the morning because I don't do that. But I know how it can affect you. So I know I've gone to the gym in days where I don't feel good or I had a bad day. Say it could be 10 o'clock at night. My gym's 24 hours. I'm in a bad mood. I got a bunch of energy. I'll go work out. When I come home, I feel better. I shower, I eat, I'm in the bed. I go to sleep. I go to sleep peacefully. Um, so it's definitely a way to clear your mind, and that kind of clarity kind of give you a different perspective where you can look at a situation and see more reason to why you shouldn't be upset, or why things need to be put in a different light, or you should be able to think or move differently than what you were, and so you can kind of process and move forward. There's a lot to it. I can't quote right now. I'm not the encyclopedia I used to be, but I definitely think there's a strong link to it, and it's vital for someone's mental health to actually be active. I'm not saying you need to be, a super athlete or anything like that, but just some aspect of being, you know, up on your feet, breaking a sweat, doing something, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I used to be the type of person. I met other youth that I've mentored
Hmm.
that when you get down and depressed, you stay in your bed. And I didn't
Worst thing
know
to
this
do.
until I was older. Like, yo, that's a mistake.
Hmm.
You need to get up. You need to get out and walk. Run, walk the dog, whatever you need to do. You need to go be active because you need to move because you're
Hmm.
allowing your mind to be stagnant at this point. And when your mind
Absolutely.
is stagnant, any and every thought gonna come through, right?
Hmm.
And so in order to protect that and guard that, you have to be out and be active, smell fresh air, and think about a different perspective about what you're going through. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely. That and people, like someone smiling to you and talking to you, and, what I'm saying, that can, change your whole horizon on the day, and you don't want to think about all your problems now. You into this person and what's going on in, life, to actually bring you back to the world and not just, your deep, darkest thoughts. So yeah, I would definitely say between interactions with people and being active, feeling the sun on your face, looking at the pathways that you're running on, the trees, the woods, the animals, cars rolling past, and just like, it's just you in the path and you fighting against being tired to finish this run. Because I don't know what it is, but being fatigued and knowing you have to overcome that fatigue does wonders. Because it's like it's you versus you at that moment, and but it's in a positive way. Like you're not
Mm.
thinking of like, oh my God, I hate my life. Maybe you might say it, but you don't really hate your life. It's like you just it's tough, but at some point you kind of enjoy. Or maybe I'm just crazy because I do enjoy like being able to overcome. Like, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this, but like I'm gonna get this done, and I knock it out. It always makes me feel better.
How did like have you always been that way or did you get to that point?
Um, I want to say with fitness, I've always been that way. In life, yeah, no, I was never really much of a quitter. And I guess my mindset just grew as I did as a person and as a man. Um, I don't really believe in quitting. Like if something does not serve a purpose, yeah, it's time to, stop and move on to something else. But if something is just hard, but you need to get through it, I was never one to quit. Like if I knew I could see on the other side, like I know what I'm going for, like there's not me just digging in a tunnel of darkness. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going forward if I know what's on the other side. I'm never one to quit. For that, I'm gonna achieve what I came to achieve, no matter what that was.
Yeah. That's something I believe everyone can get to. Some people may
Mhm.
just be born with that or just naturally have that ability of resiliency, and
Mhm.
other people have to be taught and sometimes self-taught and also put in that work. But I
Mhm.
believe if you believe that you can conquer this, then you're going to conquer it. It may
Oh no,
take a
absolutely.
minute, it may take a while, but if you believe you can, then you will. That's fitness, that's emotional, that's mental, that's everything. That's in your diet. If you believe you can get to this point, you can. And I wish more people understood that
Yeah.
and implemented that in their day-to-day lives because then they'll begin to see a change. It may not happen in a week, but what happened to your video?
I was messing with something. Messages kept dropping down. I was trying to get that out the way.
Oh, but it will happen. And so even as as you was training people, when people came in and you analyzed, because I'm sure you did, their
Mhm.
emotions and their body languages, did
Mhm.
that influence your approach to the day or how you approach them? Like, did you first check up on them or you just like, these are the reps I want you to do?
Oh no, definitely, because everyone has their highs and lows. So, a person coming in every day is not going to be exactly the same. They're dealing with, things in their personal life or things at work, especially. So when I worked in the gym, like downtown DC, I had all types of clients. Like I had lawyers, businessmen, all people in the corporate world, and they big important people for whatever company they work with, or doing whatever they do, and maybe their moms, dads, so they leading a family, so it's a lot of things going on with them at all times, and every day they're not always in a good mood, they're not always present, or just in their best mental state. So I kind of read that off of them. You can tell by body language or how they're speaking to you that day. Sometimes they come in chipper, and they're not full of joy this time, but they still came in, and you got to appreciate that, and you got to kind of be gentle with them that day, and not always kind of crack the whip, so to say, but be able to motivate them, but in a caring way, or be able to just kind of guide them through the workout, but keep them going, but not, sometimes they just don't need too much from you. They just need that guidance, and all right, I know you had a hard day. What I'm saying, I don't want to do too much, and here we are. We're gonna get this done, and we're gonna get you out of here, and I'll see you next time. Like, just be encouraged and like kind of acknowledge that you see things are, not the best, and say, oh man, I hope everything's better next time, or whatever's going on. I hope it goes well. And, get them out the door, but, let them know you kind of have that compassion, that you notice it, and, you care about, how they feel that day.
I love a couple things that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
That you see them, acknowledging the fact that you see them,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging the fact that at least that they showed up,
Mm-hmm.
and then not overly doing too much because it ain't like they can handle it in an emotional state anyway. And
Right.
I love that because those are three things as any mentor or teacher or anyone that's guiding anyone to a certain goal that you have to look out for. To acknowledge the fact that I see, how big that is, especially for a youth, for a young person, that, you come to school, your teacher see you got an attitude, that's all that they see. They don't
Mm-hmm.
see beyond the attitude. It's just, oh, so-and-so got an attitude. So-and-so is, angry, or so-and-so coming to class. You remember, like, going to school, and it always be one person that comes into class and put their head down and don't want to be bothered. I don't care who it is. In what school, it's always one student that comes to the class, put their head down, and don't want to be bothered by nobody. No teacher, don't want to do no work, don't want
Absolutely.
to do nothing. Right?
That's funny.
And
Yeah.
as a teacher, as an educator, or even as a peer, acknowledging, look, I see you, and I see that you're going through something. It's not saying that I'm excusing the
Any
behavior,
behaviors.
so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
but I see it. And so I understand, look, I'm not going to press you. Yes, this is the educational environment, things like that. Yes, it's a gym and you're supposed to be here working out. And yes, you probably as a student got forced to come to school. Right? But I see you. I think that's big. And if, that can happen more in the education room. I say that it doesn't, but if it happens more to help students the way that they need to be held, I think it would change this entire nation if it happens in every school, of course. To tell a student like, yo, I see you. I'm glad that you came here. I'm not about to press you. You understand? If you want to
Mm-hmm.
talk, you can. But here's, because some students be going through all kinds of stuff. I
Yeah,
remember
you never know.
I was in AP history, and there was always this one girl. She always had an attitude problem. I ain't never really talked to her like that, but she always had an attitude problem. And then one day, she just started talking about that she was an emancipated youth because both her parents died. And I was like, oh dang.
Mm.
I was like, okay, all that lines up. You don't know what some of these youth going through
Never.
at home, right?
Sometimes, the
And
parents is
so,
arguing in the morning, or they ain't eat breakfast because of it, and man, they just the day started bad because Lord knows we ain't like getting up early in the morning. You had to fight me to get up, so I'm already in a bad mood. I gotta warm up, and then extra stuff going on. Oh, my parents arguing. Oh, I ain't eat breakfast. It's just like, I ain't here for it today. I
yeah,
ain't here for it.
that's the thing about it, though. Um, I just love the fact that you said that I remember when I was going through stuff in school, I never had a teacher ask me, like, I ain't have anything, like, I ain't had no issue educationally. I can finish my work.
Right.
But I come to school sometimes, I'm mad.
Right.
Like, I'm extra quiet, but because I'm always quiet, no teacher necessarily noticed it, but I was mad at my peers. Like, my friends did, like, oh, Brianna's mad today. Yes, Brianna is pissed the freak off today. And I definitely don't want to be bothered. And I remember having a doctor, my primary care doctor, ask me, like, what's going on with you? And I was like, yo, you the only person that asked me. I don't think I asked myself. And then when I was able to share that with her, it was so relieving to know someone cared. And so I love the fact that you have done that with your patients, because that carries you a long way. And then when people see that you care, it's like, I want to stay with this person because this person actually cares, not just about getting a check, but about helping me. Right. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you.
no problem. This was so fun. I'm glad I was able to do this with you.
I
Thank you
know.
so much for participating in this.
I couldn't miss it. I couldn't miss
I
it. I said,
learned
oh,
a
my
lot
sister
about
want me to do
you and
something?
me
How
today.
crazy. Oh, yeah, we more alike than we thought, right?
Huh?
I said we more alike than we thought, right?